Okay, my name's Morag Cunningham and I'm the Director of Fundraising and Communications at the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice. My job is to ensure that we bring in the money to keep the doors open, and that's currently about £4.2 million a year. So we have to raise about £2.8 million in voluntary donations. And then on top of that, I look after all the marketing and the PR.
My name's Ashley Kilgour and I'm a corporate fundraiser at the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice. Most of my time is taken up by running fundraising events for the hospice, but I also look after any corporations that will support us and choose us as Charity of the Year. So companies that would pick the hospice to support with any kind of fundraising days that they might want to do. So I would just support them and manage the relationships. And I also go out there and try and encourage other businesses to come and support the hospice.
A hospice is a place where people who have been diagnosed with a terminal illness, they get referred to us via their GP or their hospital consultant, and they come to the hospice and we provide a better quality of life for the time that they have left.
Most of what we do is looking after people in the community, but we also have an inpatient unit here in the hospice with 14 beds, and we have a day unit here as well where people can come in and use all the facilities we have. Like we have an art room, we have a hair salon, we have complementary therapies, and we can have occupational therapy and things done like that with the inpatients.
Hi, my name's Carole Smillie. I'm a television presenter and I do quite a lot of work for the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow. When you are given the privilege of a high-profile television job, I'm afraid it comes with the territory that charity work is part and parcel. And actually, it's a wonderful thing to be able to do, to feel that you can actually make a difference without just putting your hand in your pocket. So the difficulty is trying to choose which charities and decide which ones that you're going to lend your support to, because you can't possibly do them all.
We run events pretty much every month. We have numerous big gala balls. We try and tick all the boxes with our events. So we've got ladies' lunches, ladies' dinners, we've got sporting dinners, sporting lunches. We do golf days. We have a big Burns supper, and just most recently we did an event called A Little Less Strictly Come Dancing, which is just basically copying the BBC show and doing our own thing with it. So we also have a lot of beneficiary events, which basically means other people in the community who will run an event and we'll be the beneficiary.
We can run anything from a 30-mile walk to a five-a-side football tournament, to a very glamorous back-tie sportsman's dinner or ladies' lunch.
The hospice have got lots of different events that happen throughout the year, and initially I was brought in to host their ball each year. Now, for those of you that don't know me very well, I hate balls. I don't generally like going to them. You eat a rubber chicken, you bid for a Celtic strip or something else dull, and you sit next to people you hardly know, and you're dressed in a really uncomfortable way. I just hate them. So I was sort of thinking, oh, here we go, until I discovered that they were doing a ball called A Little Less Strictly Come Dancing. And right from the word go, this is the only charity I have been completely blown away by the fact that they understand that you have to entertain. You can't just do the rubber chicken and the signed football. And they are light years ahead of any other charity I've worked for in terms of putting on a ball. And it is the best night of the year.
Brick by Brick Appeal was launched formally last September, and it's an appeal to build a new hospice for the people of Glasgow. It's going to take us about £15 million to build that. So the fundraising was launched last September, and the challenge now is to raise that money and build a new hospice for Glasgow.
Probably the biggest challenge is budgets, I would say, because obviously we don't have a huge amount of money to spend being a charity. So we try and put on these fabulous events, without having a huge budget to do so. We have to try, with certain events, we have to try a little bit harder to sell them these days, I think, because you'll find that companies, the first thing they'll do is they'll chop out their hospitality budget. So in previous years, you might have had companies that would spend a lot of money on on taking clients to events, you know, buying tables at events. They don't do that quite as much these days. So for certain events, we maybe just have to try a little bit harder to sell it. But that doesn't apply to all of them because quite a few of our events sell out quite quickly. So
there's been a lot of memorable things. We've ran a few small appeals to upgrade our ward and to build our day centre, so they've all been great to see them all realised and raising the money and helping people. My recent personal experience was I took part in the Strictly Come Dancing event, so that was something that completely took me out of my comfort zone, but I did lift the glitter ball trophy, so I have to say that was one of my highlights.
I mean, it's no secret that we are in tough times financially, and I can't even begin to imagine for charities how hard that is. Yet people always dig deep for the hospice. It's incredible. £15 million, that's no mean feat. A lot of it, of course, will come from corporate companies, trusts, whatever. But the people of Glasgow, I think, are also incredibly generous. They dig deep, and if they've ever been affected by you know, someone being here or a relative or a friend, and that's all it takes. I think once you've experienced what goes on here, then you're very happy to give whatever you can.
Well, I think because this is a hospice for Glasgow, it is important that the community get behind us, and that's everyone from, you know, businesses, from women's guilds to schools to church groups. We need everybody in Glasgow to support us here. Not just financially, they can help us by donating gifts to us that we can raffle or auction. They can help us through PR opportunities. They can donate advertising space. So there's so many different ways that people can support a charity like this. It's not always about money, but with the Brick by Brick appeal, I'm afraid 15 million it is. There's a lot of it is about raising money just now. So come on, Glasgow, get behind us.